Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the coolest, weirdest, and most satisfying science experiments you can do right in your own kitchen. I'm talking about taking something famously fragile and making it bouncy. Yep, you heard me right. We are going to make a bouncy egg. So, what's the first thing you think of when you see an egg? Fragile, right? One wrong move and splat! It's got this hard, brittle shell designed to protect the delicate yolk and white inside. But what if I told you we could strip away that hard exterior and unlock a whole new property hidden within? It sounds like magic, but it's pure, amazing science. Let's get started. The setup for this is super simple. All you need is a raw egg. Any regular chicken egg from the grocery store will do, a glass jar or a cup that is big enough to hold the egg, and some plain old white vinegar. That's it, no fancy lab equipment required. First, let's take a closer look at our star, the egg. The shell is made almost entirely of calcium carbonate. Think of it like a natural suit of armor. It's tough, but it's also very reactive to acid. And that's the key to this whole experiment. Okay, grab your jar. Now, very carefully, and I mean very carefully, we don't want to start with the mess. Place the raw egg into the jar. Try not to drop it in, just gently lower it to the bottom. Perfect. Now for the magic ingredient, the vinegar. The scientific name for the active component in vinegar is acetic acid. We're going to pour enough vinegar into the jar to completely submerge the egg. Make sure it's fully covered. As soon as you pour the vinegar in, you'll see something incredible start to happen. Look closely at the surface of the eggshell. Do you see all those tiny bubbles forming and fizzing up to the surface? It's like the egg is in its own personal jacuzzi. So what's going on here? This isn't just for show. This is a chemical reaction in real time. The acetic acid in the vinegar is reacting with the calcium carbonate in the eggshell. This reaction creates carbon dioxide gas, and that's what all those bubbles are. Essentially, the vinegar is slowly, molecule by molecule, eating away and dissolving the egg's hard shell. It's a classic acid-base reaction, and you're watching it happen right before your eyes. Now comes the hardest part of any good experiment, patience. This process isn't instant. You need to let the egg soak in the vinegar for at least 24 to 48 hours. I know it's tough to wait, but trust me, the result is worth it. You can leave the jar on your kitchen counter, but you might want to put a loose lid or a plate on top, because as the reaction happens, it can get a little fragrant, that classic vinegar smell. Over the next day or two, you'll notice the foam and bubbles might slow down or stop. You might even see some of the dissolved shell material floating around as a scummy layer on top of the vinegar. This is all part of the process. If you want to speed things up or get a cleaner result, you can even carefully replace the old vinegar with fresh vinegar after the first 24 hours. This gives the reaction a little boost. Alright, let's fast forward. It's been about 2 days, and it's time for the big reveal. Let's see what we've created. Very gently, pour out the vinegar. You'll want to be careful here, because the object you're about to retrieve is not the same egg you put in. I like to pour the vinegar down the sink and then carefully rinse the egg under some cool, running water. As you rinse it, you can gently rub the surface with your fingers. You'll feel the last little bits of the dissolved shell coming off, revealing what's underneath. And what is underneath? The shell is completely gone. What you're holding in your hand now is a translucent, rubbery, squishy orb. It's still egg-shaped, but it feels completely different. You can see the yolk sloshing around inside. It looks amazing, especially if you hold it up to a light. It glows. What you're left with is the egg's inner and outer membranes. These two thin layers are located just inside the hard shell of a normal egg. They're surprisingly strong and flexible, made of proteins like keratin, the same stuff your hair and fingernails are made of. Normally, you barely notice them, but now, they're the only thing holding the egg together. The vinegar has also caused some of the liquid from the egg to move out and some vinegar to move in through the membrane, which is why the egg might seem a little bigger than when you started. This process is called osmosis. Now, for the moment we've all been waiting for. The bounce test. Start small, find a clean surface like your countertop. Hold the egg just an inch or two above it and let it drop. Look at that, it bounces. It's not a super ball, it won't go flying up to the ceiling, but it has a definite, gentle bounce. It squishes and deforms as it hits the surface and then springs right back into shape. How cool is that? You can try dropping it from a little higher. Maybe 3 or 4 inches, then 5 or 6. It's so satisfying to watch something you know should shatter just. Bounce, you're testing the tensile strength of the egg's membrane. But a word of caution, this bouncy egg is not indestructible. It's still a raw egg on the inside, held together by a thin membrane. If you drop it from too high, say, a foot or more, it will eventually burst. And trust me, cleaning up a burst rubber egg is a unique experience. So if you're going to push the limits, maybe do it over a sink or a tray. But let's think about what we just did. We took a common, everyday object and, using a simple chemical reaction, we fundamentally changed its physical properties. We didn't just dissolve a shell, we revealed a hidden structure and turned something brittle into something elastic. This is what science is all about, observing the world, asking what if, and then experimenting to find the answer. You didn't just make an egg bounce, you made science come alive right in your hands. You performed a chemical reaction, observed osmosis, and tested material properties, and the best part is, anyone can do this. It's a perfect experiment to do with friends, family, or just for your own curiosity. So I challenge you, go try it for yourself. Grab an egg, grab some vinegar, and unlock the secret of the bouncy egg. Let me know in the comments how it goes for you. Did it work? How high did you get it to bounce before it? Well, thanks so much for hanging out and doing some science with me today. If you enjoyed this and want to see more cool experiments you can do at home, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Until next time, stay curious.